The narrative pauses at chapter 11, and now we have some more laws regarding animals. The previous chapter related the tragedy of the death of the sons of Aaron, together with the cliffhanger problem of the contamination of the corpses in the sanctuary. The narrative will resume at chapter 16, but for now there are more laws to digest. The resulting diet from this list of clean animals was similar to other Near Eastern cultures, but there appears to be no other system for distinguishing between clean and unclean animals in other cultures for the general population. Israel's laws here are unique. The main concerns of the distinction seem to focus on the way the animal moves and physical characteristics. What it eats and how it lives do not figure in the classification. Various proposals have been offered for how the system works, but there are too many exceptions to cope with. It may be, in the end, that this diet resembles God's own. That is, what is acceptable to God in sacrifice can be eaten also by his people. Pigs in particular were a dubious animal in other cultures as well as Israel's. Although part of the diet in Mesopotamia, they were either unfit for sacrifice or were used not to feed the gods but absorb impurity. If they were sacrificed to gods, it was the underworld ones. This was especially true of Greek and Roman cultures later on, but also in Egypt, where the pig was sacred to Seth. There may be an association between the pig and death and demons, which would be illuminating for the story of Jesus and the Gadarene demoniac, where the demons begged to be sent into the pigs. When it came to childbirth, we can see that the category of unclean does not necessarily mean sin, although this could also be seen from the previous section. It is hardly a sin if an unclean insect dies and lands on your head. Emissions from the body, whether male or female, are fluids associated with life or potential life. That they do not result in procreation implies death, and so uncleanness. Thus, a person in this state is unable to approach the source of life until clean again. The reason why the birth of girls requires a longer purification is unclear. It was the same also in other cultures. Although at first glance it looks like unfairness, that women were of a lower status, commentators think this is unlikely. It is apparently not uncommon for newborn girls to also have a discharge, and the mother may bear the uncleanness for the baby too. Another factor is that the boys must be circumcised on the 8th day. Ancient purity thinking is very obscure to us now and works by its own strange inner logic and assumptions. Menstrual blood, for example, was considered by various cultures to attract demons. We are often, therefore, at a loss to explain the reasons for this or that prescription. Finally, coming back to chapter 11, we have in verses 44 to 45 the rationale for Israel's purity. Their God is Yahweh, who brought them out of Egypt to be their God. As he is holy, so they are to be holy. These laws, even though some of them are shared in some way with other cultures, are tied to the character of their God. They are not arbitrary. God is unique and set apart, so his people are to be also.